Hello Patriots, I'm at Restored Republic via a GCR update for Thursday, October 5th, 2023, compiled by Judy Byington. Red alert, something big is coming. It's showtime. Red October revenge. The devil has a plot and God has a plan. I will follow God's plan. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our country. We will be initiating the emergency alert system during this time in an effort to provide a direct message to all citizens. Q drop 34. It is only wise to put away a month's supply of food, water, cash, and essential supplies for yourself and to share with others. He lives in you, from the Lion King, and there's a link to a video at YouTube. And love one another, another link at YouTube from the Tabernacle Choir. Judy note, the FEMA emergency broadcast system test on Wednesday, October 4th at 2:20 Eastern Standard Time that was expected to emanate dangerous frequencies and attack our phones, TVs, and Wi-Fi technology turned out to be a presidential message put out on the new Starlink satellite system, showing that the military alliance, white hats, were still in charge. They had a plan. Wednesday, October 4th, Red October Intel. Donald Trump has a big, strong message. The U.S. is getting ready to go military tribulations. Major General Paul Eaton have warned of civil war in 2024. Wednesday, October 4th, Gitmo update. Guantanamo Bay detention camp arrests, indictments, and executions for thousands of new ex-elite prisoners. Official documents. Wednesday, October 4th, Phil Intel breaking news. Was Katie Hobbs taken to Gitmo? White hats controlling EBS. American Media Group. Wednesday, October 4th, Behind the Throne. The power dynamics of the Commander-in-Chief. A closer look at Donald J. Trump's presidency and the military chain of command. And Wednesday, October 4th, the event. United States under military control. The hidden web of continuity of government and military. Everything was connected. Traditionally, U.S. taxpayer dollars have been laundered through the CIA black budget to fund the Satan-worshipping, child-sacrificing cabal, including the Chinese Communist Party, which was steadily working on a long-term plan to take over the U.S. In 1823, the Rothschilds took over all financial operations of the Catholic Church. In 1913, the Rothschilds were behind the private banker ownership of what was to become the U.S. Federal Reserve and IRS, which collected and laundered U.S. taxpayer monies through the CIA black budget to certain politicians in U.S. Inc., who turned it over to the Crown of England in London and the Vatican Bank, and then onto their central banks across the world. The Rothschilds financed the New World Order UN or Cabal, U.S. Inc., City of London, Vatican, whose members claim to gain their power through worshiping Satan. Wake-up call. Big Pharma said that China, Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, which was behind the New World Order plan to depopulate the world. A few years ago, Ukraine was taken over by Hitler's Nazi Germany. Where did the Trump's dossier come from? Ukraine. Where did the Clinton Foundation get its millions of donations? Ukraine. Where did Hunter Biden get paid millions? Ukraine. Where does Biden have property? Ukraine. Where does Soros have property? Ukraine. Who launders money? The CIA, Ukraine, and Soros. Who doesn't tell the truth? The mainstream media. Who owns the mainstream media? Soros. Where does Soros get his money to pay the mainstream media to lie? U.S. taxpayer dollars laundered through Ukraine to the Satan-worshipping, child-sacrificing cabal run by the Rothschilds. all of which calls for a global currency reset and restored republics of the world. Global currency reset. Wednesday, October 4th, the quantum financial system, the bedrock of the global currency reset, the endgame for fiat currency. Walking stick, an Iraqi citizen and bank owner, the tender for the currency and coins has been met per request, meaning requirements for release of the new Iraqi dinar exchange rate has been fulfilled. Wolverine, the funds have been released and placed on the quantum financial system. On Friday, September 22nd, Iraq announced the new Iraqi dinar international rate as $11.90, and that was on the back screens of the Forex, and would rise in value to $13.20 or higher. On that same Friday, September 22nd, the quantum financial system took over the global financial system. On Sunday evening, September 24th, the QFS was activated, with all funds gold-backed. On Thursday, September 28th, Iraq abolished the dollar in its currency auctions, Central Bank of Iraq. On Thursday, September 28th, the 10-day process began of an automatic increase in the value of the dinar, franc 26. On Friday, September 29th, the HCL oil payments to Iraqi citizens was being paid with an in-country rate of $5 plus. Friday, September 29th was a dramatic beginning of the stock market crash. The Chinese Communist Party defense minister plus the CEO of the world's largest real estate company, the CCP's Evergrande, went missing. That halted Evergrande shares on a stock market that was already in freefall, any or all of which could easily bring on a global financial crisis that would trigger a global currency reset. Sunday, October 1st was the first banking day of October in the Mideast and start of the new U.S. fiscal year. All banks were required to be on the gold asset-backed quantum financial system rather than the old fiat currency SWIFT system by that Sunday, October 1st. On Sunday, October 1st, the Admiral converted payments from 20 of the top-tier T4A groups from USD fiat to gold, USN, USTN, with the support needed to start the T4 groups. At midnight on Sunday, October 1st, the World Court reviewed evidence and then signed a document giving evidence that they were beginning the RV-GCR. If funds were not released by midnight Eastern Standard Time, Interpol would intervene to make arrests. Federal authorities and SOPs would also make arrests. This has to happen, and the World Court's orders are a blessing in disguise. All major pools expect liquidity release to begin at midnight Eastern Standard Time, but also confirmed information from their Hong Kong Prime Minister in Zurich that liquidity release was expected to begin midnight Eastern Standard Time and onwards overnight. The Forex was down all Sunday evening, October 1st, and then came up Monday morning, October 2nd, with all values set to zero. Monday, October 2nd, franc 26, all red high alert. On Monday, October 2nd, the Iraqi WS Bank U.S. branch was open for business as the stock market reopened and sell-offs continued. Wolverine confirmed that some of the T4 holders had to be turned away on Monday, October 2nd. When they tried at the last minute to renegotiate some of the payment contracts for higher exchange rates, they were told no, and this caused things to slow down a bit, but the U.S. Treasury got things moving again fast because of World Court arbitration to release the RV shotgun payment in full ASAP, and because Trump and the Chinese also wanted it completed ASAP. Tuesday, October 3rd, in the last 24 hours, PMT4A started in the process of preparing and paying T4 groups. Tuesday, October 3rd, was officially designated as the National Day of the Republic of Iraq to celebrate Iraqi freedom from the U.S. Inc. TNT, Tony, Iraqi government salaries being paid a month in advance, effective Wednesday, October 4th. On Wednesday, October 4th, Iraq was welcomed to the World Trade Organization with a fully reinstated Iraqi dinar international traded currency. Wolverine, Shelton said on his call that the 10 days of darkness and 12 days of disclosures would start after an event on Wednesday, October 4th. Rumored timeline. Judy note, intel received from a high-up source indicated that Tier 4B may not be notified until Friday, October the 6th, with appointments starting the next day. By Tuesday, October 10th, the bulk of redemption appointments and exchanges were expected to be done. On Wednesday, October 11th, another possible EBS date with Biden removal, and that would kick off a 4-month military action. The second week of October, the restitution and reparation funds will be given out for seniors over 60 in a lump sum. For ages 50 to 60, they will be paid out over a 12-month period, and ages 30 to 49 paid out over a 15-year period. Bruce. The end of October, Sidney Powell has a date with the Supreme Court to present evidence on 2020 election fraud. On Wednesday, November 1st, it was the goal to have currency exchanges and ZIM bond redemptions completed. The Rodriguez Trust will administer universal basic income for citizens of all GCR-compliant countries. The amount per individual or family will depend on the status, needs, employment level, and age of the person, family, and will work to encourage people to work if they can. Help supplement other recipes as needed. He said, we need to help our friends and family understand that this will happen in the next 3 to 6 months. In November, Social Security will be paid out in much higher payments. Bruce. In January 2024, the SSR&R payments start on a monthly basis. Bruce. On January 1st, 2024, the fiat US dollar will be worth nothing. Starting January 1st, 2024, all currencies across the globe will be on par 1-to-1 with each other. Appointments. Wolverine. Tier 1 banks will send out notification emails containing a secure web link. The website will confirm that you are you and then give you a number to call the call center for an appointment. A confirmation code will be given to you when you call the call center. At 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, requests were sent to Tier 4 A and B to begin including notifications. This afternoon, they finished sending U.S. Note USTN bills to the banks necessary to start. Judy note, as of Wednesday, October 4th evening, to my knowledge, no emails had been received to begin the process of obtaining an appointment. UST, DOD, and Trump know they are on a tight schedule, with the World Court ordering Tier 4B notification emails and T4 liquidity payments. Fleeting interference has come from deep state politicians, bureaucrats, and some bankers trying to delay emails. Interpol and National Police Special Ops are making arrests, while the DOD and UST continue to push for us to get started. Confirmed that anti-RV filibusters by mostly Democratic deep state politicians and bureaucrats, including Mnuchin, have been neutralized, and that arrests of 2,200 or more filibusters are underway in the United States and 4 other countries. For security reasons, our military contact could not discuss the specific timing of our Tier 4B notifications and access to 100% liquidity and Tier 4 group accounts and SKR accounts because they both arrive at approximately the same time. Confirmed that Monday was the day that funds started moving and being accessed at lower tier levels, and to start releasing payments for Tier 4 and SKR groups into our Tier 4B notifications anytime Monday to Tuesday. Confirmed that rates were updated on Friday morning, rates were locked, and the risk management release algorithm had been running since Friday morning. Confirmed that the rates will be updated from Sunday to Monday night. So if Tier 4, 4A, and us in 4B will not launch successfully based on the progress and launch algorithm today, so they will use the update of Sunday night rate for our Tier 4B starts from Monday to Tuesday. He told us to celebrate that the shotgun has already begun to be finished. Shotgun startup is completing now. Keep an eye out for notifications. Security is very tight at your appointment, and one of the reasons they want us in and out of appointments within 20 minutes. There is a 3-day cancellation period where you can change your mind if you don't agree with the rates and terms of your initial redemption commitment. In those 3 days, you can request different rates and terms. Will be clarified in the consultation. Zim redemption from Wolverine. Zim note redemption was rumored to be 11 cents per Zim. 80% of your Zim payout goes to a structured payout annuity investment in humanitarian projects with an annual interest payment on that 80%. 20% of your Zim payout was for personal use. Example, if Zim redemption is 3 cents on a 100 Treasury Zim T Zim note equals 600 billion for personal use. Example, if Zim redemption is 50 cents for humanitarian projects, a 100 T Zim note would equal $10 trillion for the project. Judy note, I didn't understand any of the following by Wolverine, but I'm putting it in as given. Quote, in the first 90 days, we will get up to 20% of the personal, 20 part of the 80-20 split of the Zim product. So 20% of the personal part, 20 at 3 cents on a Zim 100T note, would be equivalent at 120 billion. At a rate of 50 cents, 20% of the personal portion, 20, would be 2 trillion. And at a rate of 1-to-1, 20% of the personal portion, 20, would be 4 trillion. At the time of exchange, 1% of your redemption will be put on a debit card. The other 99% will be managed by a trust company, Abbott, Downing, or equivalent, that works with you and for you. The standard trust company is the Abbott Downing Trust Company. You have 90 days to switch to another trust company if you don't like their service. Tuesday, October 3rd, Wolverine GCR RV update meeting, October 1st, 2023. Ready to go, RV GCR update from Wolverine, 10/3/23 Dinar Chronicles. The 3 countries that disconnected from QFS that night and reconnected. All countries are ready to go, and security is very tight. This is one of the reasons they want us in and out of rescue appointments within 20 minutes. The Admiral converted payments from 20 of the top tier 4A groups from USD fiat to gold, USN, USTN, with the support needed to start the T4 groups. The World Court ordered the return of evidence last night at midnight Eastern Standard Time that they were beginning the liberation of RVGCR, and the World Court returned with a signed document around midnight Eastern Standard Time. The tent tactic to get low Zim rates didn't work. It was removed. He refused to say more about this. Since we can get higher rates of 11 cents, 1-to-1 Zim on repayment, he said the bankers will ask us to put 80% of our funds into a structured payout annuity investment, level 3, under which the bank invests in humanitarian projects and pays Zim an annual interest payment on that 80%. Said they would tell us that 20% of the Zim payment is for personal use. He said the personal 20% of up to 3 cents on a Zim 100T note would be 600 billion at a rate of 50 cents for projects. The personal 20% would be 10 trillion at a 1-to-1 ratio. He said, yes, in the first 90 days, we will get up to 20% of the personal 20 part of the 80-20 split of the Zim product. So 20% of the personal part, 20 at 3 cents on a Zim 100T note would be equivalent at 120 billion at a rate of 50 cents. 20% of the personal portion, 20, would be 2 trillion at a rate of 1-to-1. 20% of the personal portion, 20, would be 4 trillion. Confirmed that 1% will be on the debit credit card at the time of exchange. Redemption, 99% will be managed by a trust company that works with you and for you. Your information is that Tier 1 banks send notification emails containing a secure web link and a confirmation code that will give you when we call the centers. You are confirming the lack of federal tax information. Said there is a 3-day cancellation period where we can return after agreeing to the rates and terms in the initial redemption commitment. And if we change our mind, we can request different rates and terms. Standard Abbott Downing Trust Company, 90 days to switch to another trust company if you don't like the service. Rodriguez Trust will administer universal basic income for citizens of all GCR compliant countries. The amount per individual or family will depend on the status, needs, employment level, and age of the person, family, and will work to encourage people to work if they can. Help supplement other recipes as needed. He said, we need to help our friends and family understand that this will happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Confirm that if funds are not released by midnight, Interpol will intervene to make arrests and will cause federal authorities and SOPs to also make arrests. This has to happen, and the World Court's orders are a blessing in disguise. Confirmed that all major pools expect liquidity release to begin at midnight, but also confirmed the information from their Hong Kong Prime Minister in Zurich that liquidity release is expected to begin between now and midnight Eastern Standard Time, onwards overnight. Said that at 1:30, requests were sent to Tier 4 A and B to begin including notifications, and their information is that this afternoon they finished sending USN, USTN bills to the banks necessary to start. And he said UST, DOD, and Trump know they are on a tight schedule for the World Court ordering Tier 4B notification emails and Tier 4 liquidity payments. He said they are now advancing like an icebreaker against obstructionist obstacles such as breaking up chunks of ice in the Arctic Circle, while fleeting interference comes from deep state politicians, bureaucrats, and some bankers trying to delay emails. He said now Interpol and National Police Special Ops are making arrests while the DOD and UST continue to push for us to get started. He said to keep an eye on notifications. He responded that he agrees with the Regina Hochmuth information you submitted, and we sent him a message. Restored Republic. The National Guard has been deployed across the U.S. Wednesday, October 4th, world getting rid of dictatorships. RumorMillNews.com. Tuesday, October 3rd, Starlink launches V2 mini satellites with space lasers. On Tuesday, October 3rd, Starlink launches V2 mini satellites with space lasers. Data transfers between satellites in the constellation can now reach speeds of 100 Gbps without involving ground stations. Wednesday, October 4th, the FCC and FEMA plan nationwide emergency alert test at 2:20, which goes off instead as a presidential message suspected from the Starlink satellite system. Links for above information include tech CEOs, etc., include Musk visiting China 2023. Data transfers between satellites in the constellation can now reach speeds of 100 gigabytes per second without involving ground stations. The services also came in handy during emergencies such as the violent earthquake in Tonga and the continued Russian aggression in Ukraine that began last year. I would say it's the Ukraine aggression. Tech company CEOs visit China May 31st, 2023. CEOs of some of America's biggest companies are in China this week to take the pulse of one of their top markets after the country reopened following nearly 3 years of pandemic restrictions. Elon Musk of Tesla, Laxman Narasimhan, Starbucks, and Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, among big names in town, visits in recent months from the leaders of Apple, Samsung, Aramco, Volkswagen, HSBC, Standard Chartered, and Kering. The real news for Wednesday, October the 4th, 2023. The DOJ and FBI raided Mar-a-Lago so they could steal back evidence of their spying on President Trump in the Crossfire Hurricane documents. Then they indicted him for process crimes under the Espionage Act to cover their tracks and keep America distracted. It's all a cover-up. Someday we'll all learn oil isn't made from dinosaur fossils. It is naturally produced from within the earth, like the blood within our bodies. It is a renewable resource which can never run out. The scarcity tactics is used by the elite to promote them as fossil fuel because allegedly being fossil fuels, it means that it has to run out. Therefore, keeping the prices high. In fact, there is almost as much underground oil as there is in water here on Earth. The press wants you to think the only story in Washington is a fight amongst Republicans, but over the past 10 days, the Democrat chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee was charged with taking bribes from a foreign country. The D.C. Attorney General has sent subpoenas to Democrat dark money giant Arabella advisors over possible illegal activity. A House Democrat stalled a House proceeding by pulling a fire alarm, a felony. Biden's envoy to Iran was outed as an Iranian spy. Gavin Newsom appointed a Marylander to be California's senator. Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to a felony gun charge. Hunter was also caught listing his dad's home address as the beneficiary on a wire transfer from communist China. A Democrat House member was carjacked thanks to an explosion of predatory criminal behavior sparked by Democrats' pro-crime policies. Oh, and Joe Biden is still an utter disaster of a president, too. David Wilcock. Biden impeachment. House Republicans have recently unveiled over 24 pieces of information implicating Joe Biden in Hunter's international bribery investigation.
Primetime just caught Biden stuffing the special counsel's office. Biden just appointed Hunter's friend and former partner to oversee investigations into himself and Hunter. Biden pal Hampton Dellinger will control investigations into Biden's classified documents and investigations into Hunter's guns and taxes. Not only has Dellinger known Biden for years in Delaware, he's gone to dinner parties and lunches with the fam. This guy even did crisis management for Burisma. This is the guy running the special counsel's office. It's like Trump appointing Don Jr.'s drinking pal to oversee Mueller. Trump would never get away with it, but Biden is getting away with it.
Commander Thor's comment yesterday was censored, so I'm going to read it right now. And this is from October 4th. Thank you, Mary. It's been a long time, and I hope you and the Patriots are being safe. We appreciate everything that you're accomplishing on a daily basis, and we have much appreciation and love for you. Keep up the great work you are doing in bringing awareness to those who are asleep, and thank you. And thank you very much, Commander Thor, for those very kind words. As of today's update on levels 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, approximately 920 Archons, 700 Reptos, 1,100 Dracos, 120 Chimeras, 620 Reptoid mankind hybrids who abduct children and women to bring down as food and breeding on the upper levels. We have eradicators at each entrance on all levels, and eradication continues and women and children are rescued. These mankind hybrids are extremely stupid as they continue to try to bring women and children down. Their stupidity makes our job very easy. So much fun eradicating them and saving the humanity that they continue to bring down. All smiles as we liquefy them and rescue God's children. So much fun swinging the hammer. And lastly, 610 serpents were eradicated, 912 children and 74 women rescued, no dead, 21 men dead. All will be taken off planet for minds wiped, healing, and will live happy lives on our motherships or Eden, Earth 2.0. The dead will have a proper burial on Eden. The offshoot tunnels are where the evil is hiding. The more tunnels discovered, the more of my families are brought in. Several thousand of my families on 10 doing reconnaissance has turned into a full-fledged war. Approximately 1,100 Reptos eradicated. No other evil engaged at this time. No children found. Levels 7, 8, and 9 are booby-trapped, so we have detectors for their traps, so we know they're empty. Your prayers and blessings continue to work as we've had no injuries or deaths. Thank you, Patriots. Peace and much love to you, Mary, and all Patriots worldwide, and may God bless and protect all of you